Go.
Hey, hello, I'm Ann Murata. I'm Brody Donner's mom. And he has X-linked reticular pigmentary disorder with systematic manifestations. It's a mutation of the POL-A1 gene.
All right. That's the first question.
Okay, so the first question we have for you today is the syndrome we are talking about is X-linked, meaning it's genetic. Do any other family members have or carry the syndrome?
No other family members have it. We're not sure if people are carriers. I could be a carrier, but since none of the other children in the family have it, the chances are I'm not a carrier. So they think it was just a random mutation that happened to Brody during his development.
Oh, that's unfortunate for me. You're the questionnaire.
Has the syndrome stopped your son from doing anything or slowing him down?
Not now at this age. When he was little, it did.
Can you give examples?
Well, we didn't know what was going on, so he was given the label failure to thrive. For a long time, they thought he might have cystic fibrosis. So he had many infections, particularly with the lungs, adenovirus, RSV, bronchitis, many pneumonias, was always hospitalized. He was also very weak musculature. So
I still am.
So he didn't walk until he was 3. He just was very weak, couldn't do a lot of things that other kids could do because of that.
Can you give us the daily rundown of how and when your son does medication?
Okay, so the big important one is once a month he does IVIG therapy, which is receiving live immunoglobulins intravenously, so through the blood. We do that once a month. That gives his immune system a boost to fight off infections. He also does nebulizer treatments with albuterol sulfate solutions to keep the lungs clear, and if he happens to be coughing, it helps with that. He also has Advair. He also does Singulair and anything to do with like allergies, so Zyrtec, Nasacort, things like that, Singulair. So basically, even now, they treat him as if he has asthma. So anything that an asthmatic would need treatment for, he gets treatment for. And this all started before we knew exactly what his condition was.
How has the syndrome affected you and your family's daily life throughout the years?
Right now, it's not too bad. The only impact is when he has to do the IVIG therapy, because that can take 4 to 5 hours. So we have to plan a whole day almost for that. And a nurse comes to the house, so we have to be home and available. But aside that, if he's sick, it may impose a little more into the daily life, because he'd have to take time to do neb treatments before, after school, before bed, that kind of thing. Otherwise, right now, it doesn't impose. When he was little, it did, because he was on a feeding tube until he was almost 3. So that took a lot of effort to transport him, because it was attached 24 hours a day. He also, at one time, had an apnea monitor to monitor his breathing and his sleep. So that was a little nerve-wracking if it went off. And so yeah, when he was little, it was a lot more imposing. Just because he was weak too, he's more susceptible to weather. So cold, heat, both. So we had to be careful with him outside, things like that.
Has your son undergone any surgeries or procedures because of the syndrome?
Yes, when he was little, he had an antral webbing in his stomach, which is the same concept as having webbed fingers or toes, where they don't fully separate. So the cavity of his stomach did not fully separate. That's why he was on a feeding tube. So he had the surgery to remove all that webbing, and that's when he was able to finally eat, by mouth. He also has had a tonsillectomy twice, because they were removed once when he was really little, and then they grew back. So about 6 years later.
I think we need to check that again, too.
he had to have them removed again. Besides that, he's had a lot of scopes where they go all the way through from in his mouth down the esophagus through the lungs and into the intestines to make sure everything is clear, and they've taken biopsies as they've done that. I think that's pretty much it.
The syndrome is pretty unknown. Is there a disease or anything else that is pretty similar that we can compare it to?
It's kind of like a reverse albinism. So people with albinism, you know, they're very fair, and like Brody, his pigmentation is the reverse. So he has the dark pigmentation on that. Like I said, it's close to, with the terms of what happens with the lungs, it's close to cystic fibrosis. Children also have intestinal issues. Brody does not have that, but that would be another thing they would compare it to, anything that affects the intestines.
You also mentioned asthma earlier?
Asthma, yes, it's related to asthma, and that's with the cystic fibrosis too. It also poses problems with the eyes, so it would be compared to any kind of degenerate eye disease. So basically, this is like a congregation of many different syndromes put together.
So Brody told us that he didn't find out the name of this syndrome until pretty recently. Do you know why that is?
Yes, we just discovered it last January, so not even a full year yet. Periodically over the years, we've done genome sequencing on him to try to find a cause, and nothing ever came up. And then recently, genetic breakthroughs, there was a new test that could be more specific in doing a genome sequencing, and his doctor thought he'd be a good candidate to do that testing, and so we did that, sent out the sample in November, and then that January it came back that this is what it was.
Can you tell us any of the symptoms that you know that he has that are from the disorder?
Here, you want to list some? They're up top.
I don't know how to pronounce them.
Okay, well, like I said, he has eye trouble, so cornea, basically it's fissures in the eye. It doesn't really affect his vision in that, you know, he can have 20/20 vision.
I have a perfect stigmatism.
Yeah, but it affects in the way his eyes can converge. So if he's looking far away and has to look close, the eyes don't converge properly, so they can look at it, and very dry eyes, so that causes problems.
Do you want me to list some, and then you can say if you have them?
So, and I'm just trying to work down the body. Oh, so, okay, so we'll go back up top. So when he was little, he had silver white hair, and that's one of the symptoms. It's also unruly hair, which is actually a symptom. When you look it up, it says crazy messy hair and flared eyebrows. So with his nose, it's smaller cavities, so like he doesn't breathe quite right through there. In his mouth, he had double row of teeth when he was little at the bottom.
I don't think that's a symptom.
Yeah, that is a symptom.
I did not read that anywhere.
Yeah. No, he has dental issues, the rows of teeth, his pigmentation with his skin. He has trouble regulating body temperature. Like I said, the webbing, although he's the only one we know that had the webbing in the stomach. I haven't heard of another kid, but like I said, it's other webbing in other places have occurred in other people. The bronchial infections. What else?
Do you want me to read some?
What am I missing?
I'm
trying to think about you.
We got the eyes.
The low muscle tone. Because routinely, children that have this have always been labeled failure to thrive first.
So
they have.
We went over respiratory infections.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have dyskeratosis, corneal photopia? So hypohidrosis, growth retardation.
You don't really have that.
No.
I mean, you were really tiny when you were little, when you were a baby. That's why you had that failure to thrive label, because you weren't growing then. But since we've, controlled your medications and taking nutritional supplements, you've been fine.
Kidney disease or kidney stones.
You haven't had those, but they do check your kidneys quite often when we go to the hospital.
Urinary infections.
Mm-hmm.
Electrolyte imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
Retinitis pigmentosa. Lymphedema. And thyroid abnormalities.
I don't think you have any thyroid abnormalities that we know of right now.
Okay. What else do you know about this disorder? Like any other information that we haven't spitballed already?
Just that it's very rare. Mm-hmm. So at the time that we went and we spoke to the doctor, that this was what there's very few families.
An article in 2013 stated that only 5 families have been affected.
Right. That
number has probably gone up by like a few.
I think she said there was like 20 people known with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brody is one of the oldest with it because sadly many children that have it die.
Oh no, it's not just
ages.
children. It's not just children. It said males die early on.
Yes. So usually from pneumonia or a bronchial infection. So Brody is very lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So males have all the health conditions. Females are carriers, and if they are carriers and have it, the only thing they would show is the pigmentation difference. So.
All right. Have you met anyone else with this disorder?
No. I don't even know if anyone else in America with the disorder because the only families I've heard of have been in Canada and Italy.
All right. That's all of the questions we have for you. Any other comments you would like to make?
No, just that we're very fortunate that we had wonderful doctors since Brody was born that kept him with us and as healthy as can be, and that he's so great now.
Shout out to Dr. Lufane.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, thank you for letting us interview you.